Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Therese Alaba, and I'm so sorry it's been 3-4 months that I've recorded or that I've posted on this channel. This is due to some few reasons which I will explain to you in due course. But today, briefly, I am going to continue on the series I started on relationship breakup. If you check on my channel, there's some few sessions I've talked about relationship breakup, which I believe it will help you. But today in particular, I'm going to talk about 10 things or 10 questions you need to ask yourself after your relationship has broken up. I know when your relationship breaks up, there's so many questions running through your mind. There's so many things running through your mind. But at some point, you need to take some time off to reflect and ask these questions. By answering this question to yourself, honestly, it will help you to see how things went wrong, what you did to contribute to it. Are there anything you should have picked up that you didn't do during the course of the relationship? So that when you get into another relationship, it will help you to act well in case such situation presents itself again. So the question number one you will ask yourself is, what did you do to contribute to that breakup? I mean, there's a saying that says it takes two to tango. It takes two for something to go wrong. Sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not true. So, but this is a personal question you should ask yourself in your relationship and see, by this relationship breaking up, what did I do to contribute to the breakup? Is there anything I've done wrong? You need to assess yourself. You need to assess your relationship. You need to assess what went wrong and what went right. By getting to know what you did wrong will help you to avoid this in future. And the second thing you should ask yourself, are there any signs or warning signs you should have picked up in a relationship? Because sometimes when you're in a relationship, people are so blinded in love, and there are things you will see that kind of like in medical term we call them red flags. So let's say, for example, a patient approach you and you assess a patient. If they present with a condition to you, there are other things you look for that we call red flags. When those things are present, then the alarm warning, it helps you to diagnose or to make a provisional diagnosis of the patient's condition in medical field. Yeah, so in a relationship as well, sometimes there are red flags, but people are so blinded in love, they feel, no, he didn't mean it, or she doesn't mean it, or maybe that's not it. Or people might have actually be saying things to you, but you might think, oh, I'll just ignore it, or he didn't mean it, or it will change. But you ignore those things, and that might actually be the cause of your breakup. So it's very important to know what happened and what are the red flags. And the other things you ask you, the third one is, what can you do differently next time? Because we're not perfect. Things go wrong, we make mistakes, and there are times we make mistakes. We acted in a particular way, but it's something you should ask yourself. In case a particular situation presents itself, what will you do differently next time? When you sit down to assess your behavior, your reaction, and how you've handled things, it will give you a clear understanding that when things happen next time, maybe I should have done it this way. Maybe I should have reacted this way. Maybe I should have said this. Maybe I shouldn't have said. Maybe I should have held off a little bit, or I should have kept quiet in such a situation. So it's very important to see what you will do next time, and you will learn from it as well. The first one, the fourth one, you should ask yourself, how do you handle stress? How do you deal with conflict and insecurities? We all get stressed in life. We go to work, we have relationship with our families, we have other things in life we get ourselves involved in that stress us out. Sometimes you've had a bad day at work, sometimes you've had a bad day in school and uni, and sometimes when you get home, the closest person to you is your partner or your fiancé, your ex. You just put the whole hanger on them, which sometimes it's not fair. So how do you handle stress? And when you also get into argument with your ex, how do you handle it? Are you the person that just yell out? Are you the person that just swear at them? Are you the person that raise your voice at them? Do you apologize easily? Do you calm down? Do you listen to what the person has got to say? How do you handle stress? How do you handle conflict? Do you say sorry? Because sometimes sorry, it's not a sign of weakness. Sorry doesn't mean, what I often tell people when I teach them at work on communication, I do tell them, sorry doesn't mean you've done something wrong. Sorry doesn't mean you've accepted the fact that it is your fault. But sorry brings peace. So do you say sorry to people, or do you say sorry to your ex when things go wrong? So it's very important to see, do you say sorry? And also, how do you deal with insecurities? No matter how much you're in love, no matter how much perfect we think we are, we all have our insecurities. We have some things that we're not sure about. We have some things that makes us uneasy. When you feel a bit insecure with your ex, what do? Do you shout at them? Are you the person that keep going into their phone and checking their WhatsApp messages and checking their text messages and watching them when they're talking to somebody on the phone? Are you the one always asking, who are you talking to on the phone? Who is that? Checking through their phones, always nagging and things like that. So it's very important to see how you deal with those things. It might be the cause or something that's contributed to your relationship breakup. So it's very important to see how you deal with these things. And then in future, when you get into another relationship, hopefully this will help you so that you won't repeat the same mistake again. Number fifth one, the question you should ask yourself is, how do you accept others the way they are? Reality is like, no one is perfect. We all have our strength, we all have our weaknesses, and we have our areas of improving where we need to improve. And no one is perfect. And as a woman and as a man, in our head, we have an ideal husband, an ideal wife, what we expect our partner to be, what we expect them to look like, or how we expect them to behave. And sometimes when they don't behave to that expectation, how do you react? Do you nag them? Do you just tell them off? How do you behave in such a situation? Because you need to realize that you're not perfect. Your partner has a weakness, especially when it comes to guys. Sometimes they can be like a baby. In a sense that you have to nurture them, you have to teach them, you have to cook them into things. But how do you react when someone behaves in a particular way, or when they're not living up to your expectation? How do you react? How do you behave? Do you accept them the way they are, or do you accept them the way you want them to be, or you try to make them the way what you want them to be? So it's very important to see how you accept people. Point number 7 I will talk about is point number 6. Are you in control of your feelings? When you feel hungry, when you get upset, how do you manage your feelings? How do you manage your emotions? It's very, very important. Are you in self-control? Are you able to exercise self-control when you're upset, when you're hungry, when you're not happy about something? How do you react? So it's very important. So question 7, you should ask yourself, do you attend to your ex's needs? We all have needs. When your ex tell you about something, do you ignore it? Do you take it very serious? Do you act upon it? Because all those little things, you might just ignore it. Oh, don't worry about it. Especially when it's a woman and a man is saying something, we tend to think sometimes they don't have feelings. We think maybe they don't have emotions, or maybe it's just a man, or things like that. We kind of feel like only women have emotions, or only women have feelings. And sometimes men, because they're kind of someone who they're not verbal, really. They don't vocalize things like women, like we vocalize everything. So now we can make that mistakes and think they don't have needs. But we need to be very, very careful and see, even though they don't vocalize things, when they say something, do you take it serious? How do you handle it? Do you respect that thing they said? So it's very, very important to see how do you react to your ex's needs. Question number 8, you should ask yourself, every relationship at least have some positive things in it. What positive thing did you find in that relationship? There have been times your ex would have corrected you and say, these things, you don't do it well, do this with this. And there's something you've learned from your ex. I always say it. You learn something from them. So what positive thing? It's not all that bad. Even the relationship is broken up. But what have you learned from it? As something improved, as a person encourage you, or as a person put some value in you in one way or the other. So you've learned something. So hold on to that thing you've learned from them and polish it and work on it. It's very, very important. Question number 9, you should ask yourself, is your response to your ex, is it appropriate? And also, is it effective enough? Like I said, when your ex, especially when it comes to guys, because they don't talk that much, they're not a vocal person. When they say something, how do you respond to it? Do you just ignore it? Or do you listen to it? What are your words? When they come back from work, or when they tell something, this is how I feel, this is what I think, or this is what do you say to that? How do you respond to it? Do you respond properly to it, or you don't respond properly to it? It's very, very important. How do you respond? Your soft word. Sometimes when you are hungry, like the Bible says, I'll just paraphrase. The Bible says, soft word, turn away anger. Sometimes when someone is angry, when someone is upset, the tone of your voice, it makes such a big difference. So it's very, very important to think about your words. Are they appropriate enough? How do you answer the person? What is the tone of your voice like? And the number 10th question you should ask yourself, why did you choose your ex in the first place? That's a very good question to ask yourself. What tickles you? What fancy you when you met the guy? When you say yes to him, okay, yes, we're gonna be beloved or we're gonna be in a relationship. Something attracted you to that guy. Then what happened in the course of time? What has changed? When you all have the bubbles in your tummy and you're saying to your friend, I found Mr. Right, and you're always on the phone checking your text messages, your WhatsApp and everything. Something tickled you. So what happened? What has things changed in those times? So it's very important to ask yourself those questions. What did I find attractive with this guy? And why could you not maintain that thing you found attractive in the first place? Has a person changed or have you changed? So it's very important to assess your relationship. Relationship is hard work. You need to work at it. It doesn't come on a bed of roses. It's hard work. You put effort in it and the person put their effort in it. So it's very important to ask yourself those 10 questions. Those 10 questions will help you when you're going to another relationship, when you're in another relationship, so you don't repeat the same mistake you make at first. And this way I'm going to stop for now. So thank you once again for taking your time to listen to me, for watching my video. And I do encourage you to please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friend about my channel. Leave a comment about my channel. Till next we'll meet. Thank you. It's been nice talking with you. Take care and bye for now. Bye.